Assalamu alaikum everyone. Allah bless us all with good health. Today's lecture is about graphic projection, and the graphic projection is a protocol by which an image of a 3D dimensional object is projected onto a plane surface without the help of maths. We already have start doing three-dimensional projection in form of perspective, which we have learned in one point perspective. Over here we are going to discuss about the basics of projection, means 3D drawings which we produced by the help of tools, and they are on scale drawings. But the most important part over here, we are not going to use any mathematical formulas over here. We are going to present and create these three-dimensional objects and three-dimensional drawing by the help of tools and the drawing rules, not with the help of mathematically like we draw a golden eye or other formulas we apply, but over here it's about the drawing. So when we talk about the graphic projection, the basic two type of graphic projection or 3D drawings are two basic types of these are parallel projection and perspective projection. As we already have started doing perspective projection, which if you can understand a little bit, that have different angles and different kind of angles which are used in perspective projection. In parallel projections, as we came to know about the name, that it is about the parallel lines. So in parallel projection, which we are going to discuss today, most probably, um, the lines are not as at any angle. They have a specific angle, and they all the lines which are used in parallel projection are parallel to each other. There is a complete angle, and they don't have any illusion of getting, or we can say that object is not smaller at the back and bigger at the front. The size of the object must contains in parallel projection. We will discuss it, and we can understand it in three-dimensional drawings which we see in the next slide, so that will be more helpful. Okay, now we came to know that there is basic two type of projection, which are perspective projection and parallel projection. Okay, we will discuss the detail in the next slide. Okay, over here we are going to discuss the major difference between perspective projection and parallel projection, which we are going to highlight the basic difference and basic multiple use of these projections. Perspective projection, as we came to know about the one point perspective, it's about that we can see object at the front, the size of the object is bigger, and at the back the size of the object is smaller. It means the size of the object varies at the view angle of the object. So that is the basic difference. And we can have one point perspective, as I told you before. We can have 2 point perspective. In that we have two vanishing point. In 3 point perspective, we can have three vanishing point and create a drawing. After 3 point perspective, when we came to 4 point perspective, the realistic image of the object is going to vanish, and the roundness of the object is becoming more highlighted. It means till the 3 point perspective, the perspective is more realistic, and when we go for the 4 point perspective or 5 point perspective or 6 point perspective, the image gets more round and round, and the the complete end image is not as realistic as we uh, can create in 1 point or 2 point or 3 point perspective. See, this is the major issue, but it doesn't mean the sizes of the object and the things in 6 point perspective, the things are getting out of control. There is some rules and they have its own you can say control on the object, but the end object will be a round shape. Okay. It's about the perspective projection, and we will have things which are closer than that will be shown in high in bigger size, and the things that are on the back side of the object that will be shown in the smaller size. And the second thing is that the angles which are not defined in perspective drawings, the angles are depend on the eye level of the viewer. So it means we are not defined the angles, and in if we already have practiced the 1 point perspective, and we came to know that the all the angles, all the objects are different, and they have different kind of angles, and we don't measure those angles. We don't have to consider them which angle they are producing. We just produce the image by the vanishing point. uh, and in the next projection, when we came to parallel projection, we came to know that all the lines are parallel to each other. It means the angle of the line is defined, and all the drawing is based on that line and that angle. The major two basic part of parallel projection is oblique projection and orthographic projection. Both are defined, and both have its own rules and regulations. In orthographic projections, we have multi-view projection and axonometric projection. We will discuss these projections as well, and we will discuss the oblique projection as well, and in the next lectures and in this lecture as well. With the help of this diagram, we can understand better and more clear about the different types of projection, and what is the difference between all type of projections, and how we can use them, and what are the basic purpose to create them. Over here, if we see the top is start from graphic projection, and it means on scale drawings, technical drawings which we need on the paper, and all the details of the objects should be shown. So when we create that object, that the proportion of the object must be the same what we desire to have. So there are two basic type of projections which we already have discussed. One is parallel projection, and second one is perspective projection. Over here, on the right we have perspective projection. If we can see, the perspective projection also have a different types. First type is 1 point perspective, which have one vanishing point. On the second photo, you can see the 2 point perspective. In the third photo, you can see the 3 point perspective. And when we came about the 4, 5th and 6 point perspective, the curvy lines is exist in these three perspectives. So the curvy lines is defined for those three perspectives which we created. So this is about the perspective, and we came to know that perspective have illusion of small and bigger things, and it does show the variation of size of objects and of the view. And parallel to that, we have a parallel projection, which is about the same equal lines. Parallel lines always exist. It means that drawing is having a defined you can say angle, and that angle continue all over the drawing. Okay, parallel projection is also divided into two parts: orthographic projection and oblique projection. If we go first for the oblique projection do have multiple angles, like it can have 45, 30 and 90 angle, and we can show the details of the object in 3D forms, and the angles are used in 2 or 3 angles, as well as 90 angle always exist on in isometric and 1 point perspective and axonometric perspective. All the perspective do have 90 angle. Okay, then we can have oblique projection doesn't need it to be discussed that much, because we are going to emphasize on the axonometric and isometric projection. And we when we orthographic projection, when we defined orthographic projection, that is divided into two parts as well: the multi-view and the axonometric. The multi-view, which we already have done, it's about the 2D drawings, that we don't have a three-dimensional object detail, but we have a two-dimensional plan, elevation, and side elevation, all the details, and that show the correct measurements of the object and details of the object, and we created that object. It means the first angles means front elevation, third angles plan and elevation, side elevation. All the elevations and plan are which are in 2D is multi-view. The axonometric have its own dimensions. Axonometric view basically based on the 45 angle and 90 angle. And when we talk about isometric view, isometric is also the same view, but the angle is used 30 and 90 angle. In dimetric and trimetric, we can see in dimetric over here, the box, the two sides, right and left side, is equal, and the third side is depend on the view of the angle of the object, which we use to create that. And trimetric means all the three angles of the object is different from each other, not the same angles are used in the as we see in the axonometric. So these are the basic types of axonometric. If we see these graphic projection, that will highlight all the details of the different type of 3D projection, or the drawings which we create for the to create an object which can help us to create a drawing which can help us to create an object. So all these are the basic different types, and which we are going to discuss about the axonometric. And perspective we already have discussed, and we will continue that parallel to that axonometric. Parallel projection. In parallel projection, orthographic projection is one part, and a method of projection in which an object is depicted using parallel lines to project its outline onto a plane surface is orthographic projection. When we talk about multi-view projection, then we have to think that it is in technical drawing. A multi-view projection is a technique of illustration by which a standardized series of orthographic two-dimensional picture as construct to represent the form of the three-dimensional object, like elevation and section, which we already have produced. Like it's the projection is two-dimensional, and it defined all the details about the product, about the object, which is three-dimensional. Okay, and when we talk about projection, axonometric projection is a type of orthographic projection used for creating a pictorial drawing of an object where the lines of vision are perpendicular to the plane of projection. Okay, and the object is rotated around one or more of its axis to review the multiple sides, so that we can understand the multiple sides, and we can understand all the sides and its impacts, and the sizes of the object, that all of the things should be understand by the axonometric view. In all of them, all of three, we have to understand all the details of the object which we are designing. So these all are playing important role to highlight the details of the object. Let's discuss purely about the projection. When we talk about the projection drawing can create a view of a building or object that appears as an actual 3D impression of the object. Okay, that shows the 3D, complete 3D of the object. It allow length, width, and height of the measure. Uh, Height to measure, it means you can measure the width, the height, and the length of the object. It shows the complete detail of the object, and that is on scale drawing, which we already have came to know what is on scale drawing. So we have a complete drawing which is on scale. Now we are talking about projection, and there is a three basic different types of projection, which is axonometric, which we already have discussed, but we will discuss the rules of the axonometric, which we haven't discussed before: isometric projection and oblique projection. These are three basic projections which show the view of the object, and these three projections have the base rules, which are four, and which we are going to discuss, that they can create and draw in various scales. You can draw it on one fourth scale, you can draw it on half of scale, you can draw it on 1/8 of the scale, on any scale you want to draw. It depends on the object, how big is your object or drawing is, and how minor or small object you are going to draw. At the right side of, you can see an image, it show the drawers or cabinet. So that is the axonometric view of the object, and you have decided that the size of the object is almost um, one fourth of a inch, and we are going to draw it on the scale, that scale. It means that any projection that can be axono, iso, and oblique can draw on any scale: one fourth scale, half of a scale, or 1/8 scale, or any type of scale which you can understand. The second point is that they have advantage of containing of true plan. The true plan means we draw a complete plan of the object, and the next step, the axono or iso, the oblique, can be created on that plan. It means the original plan, we extend that plan into 3D form, and all these three types have the true plan. They can create on the existing drawing. So we can create it in 3D form. We have a plan in 2D form, and we can create a 3D form of that drawing. They are pictorially suitable for showing view of interior. Okay, uh, they show the basically we can draw it in exterior in any way, but because they show very minor detail, and all the details and the scales of the object is very highlighted in axono, iso, and oblique view. So we, most of the time, these kind of views are used in interior of the object or of the room. In last slide, we discuss about the rules of three basic projections, And now this is the axonometric projection, and we discuss about the this type of projection. It shows view looking from the upside and looking from the downside. Basically, axonometric projection show the view, it doesn't show the perspective, and that the things are going getting smaller at the back side and larger than the front side. It does not show that. It shows the complete size of the thing at the front and at the back. If chair's height, sitting height, or stool sitting height is 2 feet from the front, then it will be 2 feet from the back as well. And all the that shows only the view of the object, that you are looking from the upside bird eye view, or you are looking at the worm's eye view, or at the floor. The both the only two sides, from the bird eye view or worm eye view, you see two sides of the and you have to decide one of the side, so that will show the complete view. It creates with t square and 45-degree set square. Two angles basically are used, only t square, you have to put the t on the base, and then you have to have lines at 45-degree and 90-degree. Only two angles are used in axonometric projection. The rule of axonometric projection to have two angles, 45 and 90. Plan is made on 45 angle and then transfer to 3D. First we have to make a plan which is at 45-degree, as we used to make it at vertical and horizontal at 90-degree, which we normally make all 2D plans with a bird eye view. In axonometric, that plan only have to created at the angle of 45. The vertical lines and the horizontal lines must be at 45 and 45. So the true plan, the plan size, if the plan is you are going to make plan at 45 1/4 scale, you can draw all the heights and all the three-dimensional object at that plan on 1/4 scale. Okay, so it means that the plan is completely created on scale, and drawing is also created on that scale. Only two angles are used in complete drawing, 45-degree and 90-degree. Not a single line is used without these angles. Only these two angles are used. There will be no other line in these angles. All the drawings are made on true plan, which we already have discussed. All the drawings are on scale drawings, that you have made plan at 1/4 scale, then you have to make all the details at 1/4 scale. If you make the plan at half scale, then you have to make all the details which you are going to make in 3D form in axonometric projection, then you have to make them at half of the scale. The circle in the plan appears as two circle in axonometric view. When we create a circle in the plan, when we extend it and create three-dimensional object, that will be a circle in axonometric also. So these are the basic rules which are used in axonometric projection, parallel to iso and oblique projection. The angles are different in oblique and axono and isometric view. Okay, then the axonometric projection is only made at 45 and 90-degree angle. You have to remember that. It is the major difference between all the projections. In this slide we have two images. One is in at the right side, which is almost a table, or you can say a box, and the second one is at the left side, which is shown as a 2D 3D house or interior of a house, that is shown as axonometric. If you see in both, If we see the right, the table or the square, which a cube which is shown, the size of the cube, it's like 24 inches height, 22 inches width, and 24 inches width. It shows, and the it's on the sheet, it's quite big. It means the scale is like half of a scale, or 1 feet is equal to 1 inch of a scale. It means we can create that object at a bigger scale. When we came to the next image, it shows detail of a house or interior of a house. Then we have a very is a lot of things to show, and so the sheet is not that much bigger, so we decided to have a scale of 1/8. 1/8 of a inch is equal to 1 feet, so that can show more details, but the size of the objects will get smaller. If you see only the basic, the wooden floor, if you see that it is in the 45 angle on the right side and left side, and then all the objects which stands show the heights. The height is at, when we have lines at 90-degree angle, it shows the height of the object. This is how it created, and all the objects are based on these two lines, only 45-degree angle lines and 90-degree angles, and all the design are created with these lines. So this is the two type of axonometric view, and it is very both have its own values. One is don't one first object don't have that much detail, and second object have lot of detail, and both can create it in axonometric. For your understanding, I just made a very simple object. A square can convert into a cube by axonometric, and the scale is used half of an inch. 1 feet is equal to half of an inch. We just have to understand this, we don't have to create that. Okay, but in the first photo you can see we have created a 4 by 4 square, which is a normal square which we created with vertical and horizontal line on the sheet. In the second photo, we have seen that 4 by 4 scale, and parallel to that I have an extended line, and we are going to create a 45-degree plan of 4 by 4 cube. In third photo, you can see I put a T on the base and 45-degree angle at any point of the horizontal line, which is extended line, and I draw a line which is at the 45-degree angle line. You already know how to draw a 45-degree angle line with 45-degree set square. In the fourth image, I draw the second line. First was left side line, and then the right side line, extended lines at 45-degree angle. We have to put T square at the base, like we have already always put the T, and then we have to set the set square at the 45-degree angle, and then we have to draw the line. In the fifth in the second line, the first photo, we measure from the base to the 2 feet, 4 feet, 4 in feet line. We measure from the base to 4 feet at the half of the scale, and then we draw a line parallel to the left line, okay, extended line, as well as we draw a parallel line to right line, and we have a complete square at the 45-degree angle. Okay, and then in the last slide we can see that when we are going to have 90-degree angle at the edges of the square, it's going to be shown as the height of the object. Now at the 90 angle, whatever line we will take, it show the height of that object. Okay, and from the four corners we put 4 lines, from the top and bottom. If you see that top and bottom line is the same line, because the all the object, the square is at 45 degree, and the top and bottom of the square is the same. So it shows, basically we can see three lines. In the first photo we have created 90-degree lines, and four lines at the four corners, and now we have to decide the height of the cube, and the height of the cube is 4 feet also. And then at the right side, the first line we have dotted at the D point, the 4 feet. Okay, now we put T at the base, and 45 degree at parallel to the baseline, and we created a 45-degree angle, and that line intersect the 90-degree line at the middle of the object. On the second photo you can see that you don't have to measure the middle part of the once you have measure the height of the object at any point, now the next height will be taken out of that, because that line from the D line will extend it, and it will intersect the middle line, and when it intersect we get the point where we have to extend a line. At the third photo we have extended the line, and it parallel to the baseline, which is at the base. So we have a third line on the left side, we have a point where lines are intersect, and then from that line we have to extend line parallel to baseline. You have to remember that all the lines are going parallel to their baseline. So we are going to have the fourth corner over there in the fourth photo, and then we are going to extend from there to point D, and it will meet at the same point. If it doesn't meet intersect at the same point, it means you have done something wrong. And it now at the fifth photo you can see we are going to intersect at the D point, and all the lines have started from the D, go to the next line, go to the next line, go to the next line, and came back to the D. Okay, in the sixth photo you can see that, and when we erase the extra lines we can get in the last photo a complete cube. It means all the sides of the cube is 4 feet. Only the angle is different, you want to see from the top or you want to see from the base. These basic two angles we can see in axonometric view, and this is the projection of axonometric, a very simple projection form of cube. I just try to make it easier for you if you can understand. This is the last object of the axonometric. Okay, we get the basic information about the projection and views, axono, iso, and oblique, three type of views, and the major rules and regulations, and what kind of images will be developed from the axonometric projection. And we will try to learn isometric and oblique projection in next lecture. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.